How do you manage working a job while in physical therapy school? So if you're in the PTA program or if you're in the PT program, how do you juggle a job and the program? What's up guys, my name is Antonio and I work in physical therapy, and if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing because in this channel we talk about the ins and the outs of physical therapy. So if you're looking for information in this field, this channel talks about everything PT related. So check it out. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how do you manage working a job while in PT school or in PTA school. So how do you manage working while in the program? In this video, we're going to be talking about the tips, some advice, and like some things that could help you out if you have to work and go to school. Let's go. For most people, they have to work either to support their family or to pay the bills or to watch over their kids, whatever that might look like. But for me, I actually didn't have to work, but I chose to work because I didn't want my debt to be so out of hand when I was done with it. So if I'm spending $25,000 to go into the PTA program, like $25,000 to $30,000 after buying your NPTE exam, after buying your books, all that stuff. So if you have that expensive of a program, I didn't want to be left with all that debt, but I wanted to work so that I could eat away at it and I reduced that amount that it would be at the end of it. Now I know that that doesn't work for all of you guys, but that's why I actually worked while I was in the program. And I worked as a waiter on the side, and I also interned at my church while still trying to make time for my friends and my family and still attend the program and study and keep up my good grades and all that stuff. So I can completely understand that it's stressful and it can be sometimes overwhelming when you're faced with all those different things that you got to maintain and balance in your life. So the first thing I would recommend, or the first tip I would give you, is that if you don't have to work a full-time job, then I would recommend working a part-time job. Especially because when you enter the program, your program is specific days and specific times. You can't change it. So when you're taking your prerequisites, you can choose, oh, I want to take English at 10 o'clock at night, or I want to take English at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you can kind of choose your schedule. Once you get into the program, you can't do that. It's set schedule and you attend it just like a job. And what you have to do is set your other schedule, your work schedule, your family schedule, whatever it is, around the program. So the first thing I would recommend is not working full-time if you don't have to, but work part-time, because it's hard to manage all of that and you might get stuck working night shifts or something just so you can work full-time. So the first tip is try not to work full-time. The second tip I would give you is to set aside intentional time to study. So just like you have your set time that you attend the program, your set time that you go to work, I would set aside specific time to study so that it's part of your routine and it's a part of your schedule so that it becomes natural, so that you don't put it off till a later time or till you're done with something, but set aside specific time so that way you stay consistently studying and up to date on your academics so that you don't fall behind. And what goes along with that is making the most of your time. So that's another tip, is when you're driving to work or driving to school. So for me, it was like a 45 to 50 minute drive for me to get to school. So while I'm driving, make the most of that time. Listen to podcasts, listen to a different thing. There's a lot of PT podcasts out there right now. So if you have a test over modalities coming up, then listen to a podcast that talks about modalities, or find YouTube videos, or find something that you can listen to while you're driving. And also, I remember that for my kinesiology class, when I had to learn all the muscles, so the origin, the insertion, the action of the muscles, there was an app that you can have on your phone that was like flashcards. So you could be at the store waiting in line and you could be flipping through your flashcards so that you can look over your muscles and all that stuff. So make the most of your time. Take each minute to re-look over stuff, to prepare, to think about what you're gonna do for your next upcoming lab that you have to do. So I would make the most of your time and set aside specific time to study. Another thing that I would recommend doing is taking time off before your finals. So for me, it was 10-week semesters, and so every 10 weeks we had finals over all the material, and like I feel like every other week we had tests over the material, but every 10 weeks we had finals. And so what I would recommend doing is taking a day off to set aside everything else just to study. So take a day off of work if you can, and just be upfront with your employer. So say, hey, I'm in the PTA program, we have tests these days, and these days. I would like to set or schedule specific time off if you can, if your employer allows it. But be transparent about it. Don't wait till the last minute and then be like, oh, I need work off because I got finals or something. Let them know in advance. Stay transparent. That way you're on good terms with your employer. That way you don't get a bad rap at your job. But just be transparent about that and let them know. And hopefully you can take off a day or 2 days, whatever it is, before finals week. That way you can prepare and study for everything that you gotta know. Now, if you start doing bad in your academics or you start doing bad in the programs with your grades, as soon as you start slipping or as soon as you start doing bad, then go find a teacher or faculty member right away and ask them for help. So they love to help you and they want you to succeed and pass the program because that looks better for their program in their college. So they really want to help you out. So as soon as you notice a decline in your grades, then go seek out a professor and ask them for help so that they can help you in areas that you're struggling with, so they can give you better ideas on what to study for the test, because they want to help you out so that you can succeed through this. So as soon as you notice if you start slacking or start doing bad on some test or exam, or if you don't understand something, go seek out help right away. So the last tip I would give you is that if you are declining in your grades and you can't manage going to the program and working your job, then I would recommend dropping your job and finishing the program. So if you finish the program, then it's gonna pay off in the long run. But if you don't complete it, then you just wasted $30,000 or $25,000 or however much it costs to go into the program. It's just like going into the casino and betting $25,000 on red when you know it's gonna come up black. Like it's a bad idea. So if you can, then I would suggest dropping your job, and just so you can finish that last year of the program and take out loans. If that's what your circumstance allows you to do, then do it, because it will pay off so much more in the long run to finish the program and to get a job and to get a better salary and to get bonuses and to get health insurance and all that stuff. So just complete the program, because it will pay off rather than not completing it and still maintaining your job as a waiter or something like that. Like, finish it. That'll be the most important thing, because then looking back 2 years down the road, you could say, I'm so glad I finished it, because now I can set myself up, I'm debt free, I'm working a consistent job. It'll be so much better in the long run. So for me, I worked all through the program, and I ended up, I think I left college with only $10,000 in debt in loans, and I was able to pay that off in like 2 years. So that's personal information that I'm willing to share with you guys, but I just want to let you guys know that if you do actually decide to work, I'm not like encouraging it one way or another. Like, if you don't have to work, then cool. Like, sometimes just taking care of a family or whatever is really challenging, and I was fortunate enough to where I don't have kids or anything like that. So if you don't have to work, that's totally fine. Just finish the program. But I just want to let you know that it'll pay off in the long run to just finish the program and to be set in your career, and then you can start paying off all that debt, because it'll be like an investment. You invest time, you invest money, you invest your resources and effort, and then it'll pay off with your salary. You won't have to work as many hours, and you have a good job when it's all said and done. So hopefully these tips have helped you if you have to work a job while attending the program. So hopefully give me some feedback if this was helpful for you guys, and let me know in the comment section if you have to work and go to the program. Like, if that's what your circumstances are, then let me know in the comment section, or let me know if you have to take care of a family or a child or something like that, because that is really hard to do, and I never had to raise a kid like that while in the PTA program. So let me know in the comment section if that is you. And like the video if you found it helpful. Peace!